Good morning. My name is Isaiah Oyugi. Welcome to Stories That Inspire. Stories That Inspire is a program run by Active Hub in partnership with Activate Youth Ministry and Activate Mentorship Program. We hope that this program can help young people to find something they can do in their communities and solve it in sustainable ways. And today we are so privileged to bring a story of directors of Raison Schools. So I'm going to be talking to them shortly to tell me who they are and what they are doing. But you can follow us on our Facebook pages, Active Hub, Activate Mentorship Program, or you can join our group on Activate Mentorship Program. And you can also later on check this on our YouTube channel, Active TV Network, and you will also find it on the page for Raison Schools. But now, karibuni sana kwa show.
Asante.
Tell me about yourselves. Nyinyi ni kina nani na nini mnafanya hapa? Wacha tuanzie pale mwisho.
Asante. My name is Maslin Fandi. I'm a mother of 3, married to one Mr. Fandi Shiuka, and basically we run the school together, the 4 of us, and we'll be happy to share our story with you.
Thank you. Yeah.
My name is Phyllis Azinga Owori. This is my husband seated next to me. I'm a mother of 2 lovely boys. And I'm happy to be here today to share the story.
Yes, karibu sana.
So my name is Mazdem Awori. As my wife mentioned, we have 2 sons. We are privileged to be directors of Raison Schools.
Great. Karibuni sana Stories That Inspire. We designed this program to help as many people as possible step out of their comfort zones and do something. And when I first heard the story of Raison, I thought this is something we should tell. So maybe, I don't know I think we should begin with Maslin. Tell us, how long have you been in Kitale, by the way?
I've been in Kitale twice.
Okay.
So my first attempt was in the early 2000s, around 2004. When I left, we decided as a family to leave Nairobi because my husband had been retrenched.
Okay.
And the mom actually suggested to him that instead of relying on one income in Nairobi, why don't you come over to Kitale, kuna shamba, come and help me run the farm because I'm growing old.
Okay.
So, we thought, okay, at first we resisted a bit, but you know how it is in Nairobi, especially when it's a young family and you're starting off. The income from one person would actually put a strain on the family. So, after a little bit more prodding, we decided to succumb and come to Kitale. Yeah, so that was the first. I said I've been Kitale twice, the first time.
Okay.
So, having been born and brought up in Nairobi, it was quite a challenge for me to get used to the ways that I found, because you see, you realize we're not living in Kitale town, we're living on the farm.
Mashinani.
Yes, Mashinani, with all its attendant items that make its lifestyle a bit challenging, especially if you're not accustomed to it. Yeah, so we stayed there for 2 years, and it got a bit tough. We agreed that I go back to Nairobi and just try and see probably it could work from that end. So after about 2 years, as Marceline, I came back to join the family because they didn't join me in Nairobi.
Okay.
Yeah,
they remained in
just
the farm, eh?
Yeah, they remained on the farm, and I thought, okay, no, this was not my idea of a family. Watch out. I come back to Kitale, we see how it can work.
So this is now
So
2000 and...
that was around 2000 and early 2008.
Yeah, and that's when now you began now the baby care.
No. That was, I just got into employment.
Okay.
Yeah, I was working as an administrator on a kind of a large farm in a place called Kiminini in Kitale.
Okay.
Yeah, but you see, while I was doing that, I kept like whenever I'd interact with children, whether it's during Sunday school, I would find that it was giving me a lot of satisfaction. Just interacting with children, working, teaching them. Yeah, that was fun.
Okay.
So at the point where I felt that I was feeling like I need to step into that space of working with children, and God worked His own way, and my contract was terminated where I was working as an administrator, and there was no option of renewing actually. Yeah.
So you were thrown into a deep sea.
So from the deep sea, I said, okay, what can I do? I don't want to do farming. I'm not a farmer, even though we're in Kitale. So I just started, the idea of the daycare came to mind, together with actually an activity center for children. Because you see, you have those young ones who would get stranded because of having like a high turnover of child minder. You know the normal scenario.
Yeah.
You have the maid, maybe they'll stay 3 months, they're gone. This child has to get used immediately. They have 1 day to get used to someone who they'll be left with. So that was also something that I went through with my daughter, who is now 6 years old, because before she turned 2, she had passed through 11 maids, you know. Yeah, so that was quite, my heart was going out to other families who have similar scenarios.
And you wanted to be able to answer to that problem.
Yes, because I had suffered as a result.
But where do you guys come in? Mnatokelezea wapi kwa hii story?
I think for us it was also a journey. Coming from Nairobi, we came about 5 years ago. How many years?
3 and a few months.
3 and a few months. I think close to the age of the school. I think we understand ladies are better with dates. Yeah, so we came from Nairobi, jobless. Personally, my experience has been in the insurance industry, where I worked with several companies. I worked with a company called Jevic that laid off, or rather downscaled its operations in Kenya, and we found me and my wife in the house looking at each other and wondering what next
In Nairobi.
in Nairobi.
Okay.
Of course, with high living standards, you know, you're in a house, you're paying close to 50,000 shillings in rent. You have a car that you have to fuel. You have kids that you need to educate and cater for their needs. So we initially, I think, started a business in Nairobi around food and delivery. After some much thought and thinking, what can we do that we can generate some small income for ourselves? So I think that is where our entrepreneurial journey started. It didn't materialize very well because the business picked up well, but could not sustain our needs in Nairobi.
Yeah, with the house that you're paying that much,
Yes.
and with all the needs you have, that would have been a challenge. Where were you delivering the food to? Like you had companies or like people?
Yeah, I think we initially the idea. I used to work in Upper Hill, in a very posh apartment called Serene Valley Apartments. So I realized that for people, the middle income class would struggle to get meals that were affordable. Initially, Upper Hill was a place that you get places that mabati structures where people would get chapati, madondo. But now with the escalating cost of the value of property in Upper Hill, most of those mabati structures were phased out. So the people, the hotels and the food outlets that were established in Upper Hill, of course, would sell food at a very high cost. So our solution was to create affordable sort of meals and snacks for that category of people.
Wow. Wow. But you realized it wasn't enough. So haiwezi kukutana na mahitaji yenu. So what happened next?
Well, we ran the business. It was picking up quite well and fast. However, having left employment to take care of my babies, because of the challenge that my sister just mentioned about house girls. So you employ a house help, and on the first day you're thinking, I'm leaving my baby to a stranger, going to the office, and I can't settle. My mind is thinking, has he fed well? Is he being taken care of well by this stranger? So of course now we decided as a family, I let go of my work and take care of my children, which had always been my desire actually, to be the primary caregiver of my children at a very formal period of their time on earth. So I resigned, and 3 months later, as he said, he lost his job. So after running the business, and you're getting money but you're using it, you're consuming instead of pumping it back into the business. So it was quite unsustainable. Hence now we decided, okay, we have a home in Kitale. We can come back.
Operation Rudi Nyumbani.
Yes, so the mother had conversations with him, and he decided, okay, we are going to Kitale. Of course, for me, I didn't take it in. I was like, I know everyone here. Most of my family members are here. This is where I have been for a long period of time. I cannot go back to Kitale, though I was born in Kitale. So I even tried to fight the idea, but eventually we found ourselves in Kitale. So when we came to Kitale, we were right opposite Marcelin's place, where she lived there and she ran the business as well. From the same,
The daycare now.
Yeah, the daycare business.
Okay.
So of course I was thinking about my small baby who was 2 years old, and of course I wanted to continue on with my business, but I needed a place where I could take the baby. So I decided, okay, let me go and see what happens behind this gate. So I saw she had put her contacts there. She wasn't there, so I called her, and she said we set an appointment on when we were going to meet. It was Christmas, so they had traveled to the farm, and we agreed that we were going to have a day where we will talk. So of course the day came, and I went and I met Marceline, and yeah, we hit it off. Immediately we talked for almost 2 hours.
Wow.
And after that I came back home and I told my husband, hey, I met this wonderful lady and she's doing some good job with the children. And I'm thinking I also had the same idea because of that issue of women going through problems with house girls. We decided I had wanted to set up a daycare personally and just take care of such kids instead of being left in the hands of house girls who sometimes most of them are not really very kind to these children. So I told my husband, I really want to partner with her, and I'm thinking of throwing it to her, and I don't know how it will be taken, but you better try than just thinking. So he was like, go ahead. Yeah, so I sent her a text, and she responded. Then the conversations began.
Wow.
Yes.
And the conversations led to what we see now.
Yes.
I'm interested because this is now a daycare, so you are basically picking kids and caring for them when their parents go to work.
Actually,
What was your
the
idea?
parents would drop the
They
children.
would drop the children.
Yeah, they would drop the children. But what I didn't mention was that, okay, my firstborn is now 16. But I had these 2 younger children. I mentioned that I had 3.
Yeah,
we have
yes,
children,
yes.
Andy and I. So Petra, who is now 9, at the time was 6, and the younger sister was about to turn 4, right? Now, obviously, in any normal setting, a 6-year-old has already started school, right?
Yes.
But what I was doing with Petra was homeschooling, because having been in Kitale for a while, we had tried to take her to several schools. I will not name the
Okay.
schools.
Yeah.
But I tried to take her to several schools. I was not happy with everything. Okay, I was not happy with some particular things that were going on in the school. But most importantly, my husband and I wanted to guard her confidence, which we had noted had disappeared in our firstborn the minute he went to school. So we're thinking for this secondborn, how can we do it differently? So we embraced homeschooling, we would get the material from Nairobi and we just run with the homeschooling. So actually at the point when part of the conversations we'd be having with Phyllis would be about how we can actually start like a homeschooling kind of community where we talk to other parents and see if they can actually bring the kids on board on the basis of us homeschooling them, and then we see which teachers will bring on board. So those are the initial talks.
Just a minute. What is homeschooling?
Homeschooling is basically it's like letting your child learn at home in the home setting, where it's actually for best results it's advised that the parent, either one parent or both, but I guess it'll have to be one, so that one person brings in the bread and butter. So a parent actually gets actively involved in the child's schooling, but in some cases the parent will actually engage like a supervisor, because the material is supposed to lead the child to be more and more independent. So they do the work, but the adult supervisor is there to tell them, okay, how about finishing this? What is the timing you have for this exercise? So the learning is based at home,
And the
where
curriculum is-
you're in control of the values that your child actually receives or gets to absorb.
But the
So the
curriculum is still the
curriculum-
same like the normal Kenyan curriculum.
No.
That would be
We were using the curriculum called ACE.
SCE.
Yeah, that is Accelerated Christian Education. Yes.
And you are okay with starting that kind of a community
Oh yes.
in Kitale?
Yes, actually, we were okay because we also delved into the search for a school for our firstborn, who had already started school in Nairobi. So we went to several schools. We were not happy. Yes.
So you both were dissatisfied with the school service as it is in Kitale.
Yes.
Is it the learning? Is it the way teachers handle the kids? Is it that is it the way they deliver the curriculum? What particularly was your point of dissatisfaction with the school system as it is in Kitale that created that need for you to want to put for you at least you mentioned something about confidence,
Yes.
that you wanted to safeguard the confidence of your second born.
Yes.
But what else was the point of departure with what was happening in the other schools that you felt we needed to maybe model differently?
Okay, apart from confidence, I'll just say my experience, because you found me already dissatisfied.
Yes.
So this is what happened. Petra, our daughter, went to 3 schools
Okay.
between age 3.5 and 4.5, and we decided it's not working.
Okay.
3 schools in that 1 year.
I hear you.
So we said this school has the same. Okay, I'm not blaming any teacher or the administration, but we're talking about mindsets that can actually encourage a child to not only have confidence, but even improve on the confidence that you as parents have instilled in the child. So you'd find that package of education we're finding, it's coming with a lot of intimidation, where the child actually looks at a teacher like a semi-god to be feared, not a loving God, So that was the main thing actually, which was driving us to say the child's values, our children's values have to be safeguarded in an environment we can control. We'd even hired someone to help me, because I had mentioned I was working as an administrator on a farm, so that would mean I'd be away for a period of time when our daughter was supposed to be learning. So I'd have someone to engage her for a section of the morning, and because my official working hours were half day, I'd go and take over at some point to continue on now with whatever it is. And ACE is Christian, so for us as Petra and Hadass as parents, it was important that our children get to learn the Christian values and not in a diluted way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the same was what was your personal experience and the specific point of departure?
I think I would speak from an industry perspective. I think there's also a problem with the quality of teachers that are put forward for employment.
Okay.
And I think for obvious reasons that the threshold into entry as a teaching as a career has been lowered. I think you have seen recently it's it's even been lowered to a D plus.
D plus.
Yes.
So they pick D plus material to
Yes.
take to school to
Yes.
learn teaching.
Yes, to educate doctors and engineers, and so also the general perspective about who a teacher is has been really watered down, of course, as compared to even countries that we are benchmarking with. You go to countries like Germany and you realize a teacher is somebody who is esteemed highly in the society, and it has been like that also in Kenya. When we were growing up, a teacher was
The primary school
Yeah.
teacher in my village
yes, but
was very rich.
yes, but you see, for now, you see what is happening is like, if everything else fails, then teaching is the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah, so you find people who are in the teaching profession are not passionate about teaching. They are just into it because it's
Yeah, it's the
a
only
means
thing
of-
we can
It's a
do.
last resort.
Yeah. So you felt that maybe we need to create something different from this. We can answer to this. So for you, it was dissatisfaction with what was happening around the schools that your kids went to.
Yes.
For you, it was the outlook of the entire industry and the need to just have professionalism.
Although I can mention also that also the need for co-curricular activities.
Co-curricular activities.
Because I think there was a lot of just focus on
Academic
academics,
learning.
and if a child does not deliver in academics, then this child is a failure. But I mean, from experience, if you look at the people around, look at towns like Eldoret, the people who own those buildings are runners, and some of them, when you hear them on TV, are not even fluent in English. Now, we don't want to also water down the importance of education,
Education, yeah.
but we're saying there needs to be a sort of balance in that we take co-curricular and academics as equally important.
So because I'm trying to find the real reasons why you actually ended up starting Reason. So someone who is listening to us, who is probably a parent and wonders where, because most parents would have the same challenge that you have. If they were to tell us, they would have the same challenges in Kitale. Someone would be struggling. My baby maybe is not very academic oriented, but is very good at singing, or maybe it's not academic oriented but can draw. Where do I take this baby? Or another one struggling with the same issues around the unprofessionalism of the teachers, or the lack of passion and drive that the teachers in the schools where their kids are going to. So tell us, so Reason, what is Reason? And what is the philosophy around Reason as a school? I think Marcelina, you can begin us on that. What is Reason and what is the philosophy of the person hearing about Reason for the first time? What should they know about Reason?
Okay, first of all, our motto as a school is confident to excel.
Confident
To excel. That is our motto.
Confident
Confident
to
to excel.
Wow.
So for us, that should actually tell you that confidence plays a very important role in defining the activities that go on in the school
Okay.
and the engagements that take place in our spaces. So whatever it is that we do, of course education is our core business.
Yeah.
But how is that education
Delivered.
delivered? How is it delivered? The child will learn. Schools are a dime a dozen. But can it be done in a way that actually either maintains the confidence of a confident child or nurtures the confidence of one who finds themselves as an underdog?
Okay.
Yeah. Is that possible for a child to learn while their confidence is actually being nurtured?
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's Reason.
That is
If I bring my child to Reason, I should expect that kama ni muoga atakuwa developed into a bold, courageous, confident young person.
Yes, you can expect that.
Okay.
And of course, we have to bear in mind that people are born with different personalities. So that is not to say that everyone will become a choleric or a sanguine.
Sanguine.
It just
But
means
in their
that
uniqueness,
you'll be comfortable
they are
in your
confident in their.
Yes.
How do you get that done, Phyllis? How do you get that done? How do you build that confidence in a child?
It's actually providing an environment that enables that. And for us as Reason schools, one of the things that really pops is a fun and friendly environment.
A fun and friendly environment. That's what you're creating
Yes.
for the kids here.
Yes.
Okay.
So the children are supposed to feel very confident and happy to come to school. They should not be intimidated in any way. There cannot be labeling of the children. We don't train children here
Okay.
because
Take me slowly on this. I really, because someone is watching this that is a parent wondering where to take their children, na labda mtoto wako amechapwa sana kule unampelekanga. Phyllis anasema here at Raison they create a fun and friendly environment where kids feel confident and happy to come to school, where there's no intimidation of whatever sort, and they don't cane children. Maybe we'll revisit that. But go on, please.
yes. So that environment where a teacher will receive a child with a hug, with a smile,
Wow.
and the child will just feel happy that they are home away from home. And learning will take place because when you provide such an environment to a child, they will definitely thrive in whatever it is that God has created them to be.
Wow.
Because a child doesn't want to come to this place where they feel that oh, my teacher is going just to stand at the door and just look for mistakes. Because we are all human beings, we make mistakes. But they are happy to know that they will be received well and they will learn in a very friendly environment. They will do extra things beyond classroom that will really, really even allow them to just be happy with who they are. They discover the innate gifts and talents that have been placed within them, because we have extracurricular activities like French, we have golf, we have ballet.
Your kids play golf here?
Yes, they do.
Golf.
Yes.
Kitale mnasikia? There is a school, people are playing golf. Yani wanajifunza golf. Kweli Nairobi imekuja Kitale. Nairobi imekuja Kitale. Wow, that's nice. So they learn French, there's golf, there's what other activities?
Ballet.
There's ballet.
And
Music.
yes, chess.
I noted, for example, like my daughter, she is 2.5 now, but she loves to stand on her like hooves.
On her tippy toes.
Yeah.
So that's a ballerina.
She's always like jumping up, and so we have been talking about that with my wife. Like, where do we take her to, like, start learning how to do this? We have there's a cartoon called Ballerina, I think,
Yes.
that she loves watching, and then she just does exactly that. Yeah, so I think it's a good place. You should treat me well. I could be a prospective parent.
Yes.
But there's golf, there's ballet, there's French, there's music, there's chess. Chess. What is the beauty of chess? Kwa nini watoto wajifunze chess kwa shule?
I think one of the missing links. If you compare international curriculum and our Kenyan curriculum, is that we don't encourage critical thinking. So you realize, even if you compare learning material from international curriculum and our Kenyan curriculum, it doesn't encourage a child to think why, why not this way, So critical thinking. So one of the games that is very popular in terms of encouraging children to think critically, to be solution oriented, is chess.
Chess.
Yeah, so it has a way of
Opening them up,
catalyzing, the
their
thought process of
reasoning
of the child.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are not taught to ask questions. I went to a primary school. We had a teacher called Mr. Riech. He was a tough man. We were not supposed to question anything. You could not ask questions. You are just responding to instructions. So I think that's really good that you're creating an opportunity for kids to think and engage their minds, yeah, and to be able to learn in such an environment like you have created here. So tell us how now I know the school is 3 years. 3 years. So ni kutoka which ages mpaka which ages, na mtu ambaye anataka kuleta mtoto shule hii, how do they bring children here? How do you receive? What goes on in the process of admission or anything? And if a prospective parent is listening to you, you kindly raise your voice and let me hear and let them hear what you tell them about your school. I don't know whether Master you want to do that or Phyllis. Yeah.
Okay, so we run a kindergarten and a primary school.
Uh-huh.
So for kindergarten, we have children from 2 years old going up to 6 in PP2. Currently, in the new curriculum, they refer it as PP2,
PP2.
pre-primary 2.
Primary 2.
Then primary section, we have class 1, grade 1 now, going to class 6 next year. Now we'll be moving to class 7. About enrollment, okay, we are happy to receive parents that have bought into our vision, because of course we have marketed the school, people know about us through Facebook, through referrals. So for those who have kids between 2 years old and 4 years old, they will just come and we will assess the child and get to see where they are at in terms of milestones, just by probably orally interviewing them. And then for those who are in PP1 and PP2, we have assessments that we provide to them to just evaluate and see where they're at. Then of course now they will pay a registration fee. They will, of course, we will refer them to a place where they will be able to get the uniforms. And the same applies to primary.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, nimesikia huko nje wakisema hii ni shule ya matajiri, that the normal mwananchi wa Kitale hawezi kuja kuleta mtoto hapa. Help us, is that the correct view of Rayzone, or can you demystify if there's...
Yeah, I think that has been a misconception.
Okay.
Because recently we posted our fee structure on our Facebook page, and if you look at some of the comments, people are putting, kumbe sio expensive vile tunaambiwa. So sometimes because of maybe the quality, what we are offering, there's always that perception that we may be charging
more.
When you start hearing of golf, start hearing of ballet, you think we are really charging costs that are really up there. But basically we are within the range of what a good school would be charging.
Over to Siogope. We should not fear. We should bring your children to Rayzone. Don't be afraid. I think because that's a perception. I've had it personally.
Yes.
When people tell me, Pastor, that is a very expensive school. And I'm thinking, you've not even gone there. You've not even asked the questions. So maybe they should come and talk to you and find ways in which they can bring their kids to Rayzone. I want us to start bringing this to a close. So maybe you can start, just help us take 2 or 3 lessons from your lives on what someone needs to start something, whether it is a school or whether it is another kind of project or business, because there's a myth out here that kama hauna pesa, you cannot start anything. Did you guys have a lot of money when you began? How did that play around for you?
I think yes, sorry.
Well, okay, for me, you see, I mentioned that I was doing an administration job in on a farm in Kiminini called Maya Farm, and even at the point when I left, I still didn't have my dues. Okay. So I used my paycheck as in mshahara ya kawaida, and mshahara ya kawaida has many uses already, you know. So you can't say that now I have all this to spare. It's not spare money, Yeah, so what I just used that paycheck for was to put rent and deposit for the house and trust God. Of course, printing pamphlets and what have you, and doing the legwork,
Yeah.
And that's how
legwork is the marketing by yourself. Or,
yes,
okay.
Where you're working with brochures from shop to shop, whatever it is, spaces in town like that. There was no.
Yes.
Do I need a lot of money to start a business?
Yeah, that's a fallacy that is out there.
Yeah.
I can tell you there are times we went to the supermarket and picked plastic tables like this, two plastic chairs, for kids, and we would go out and basically we started from nothing. nothing complete. I think the most important thing, the most important lesson that I draw from this is that it's important that you have an idea, and an idea that solves a real problem
Hey,
in the market.
please tweet that. Tweet it out. Please repeat that for me. It is important that you have
An
an idea that solves a real problem.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's more important than
Than
having
even the resources, because resources will always come to the idea. I mean, we have people who have idle money, who want a place where they can put
their
the
money.
money to generate an income.
Wow.
So I think what is important is, do you have the idea?
And is the idea solving a real problem?
Yes.
And then those of us who are investors will find you. Wow.
Actually, for a long time personally,
Yeah.
I have always wanted to do business. From the time I was young,
Yeah.
I knew, in fact, at the time I wrote somewhere that when I grow up, I'd like to be a very great businesswoman. So I had for a long time had people say, you don't need money to start a business. For me, I used to think, hey, these guys are joking. What do they mean? How can I start a business
Without money.
Without money? And actually, this has been a lesson for me,
Wow.
a practical lesson, and to all of us as directors, because truly speaking, we didn't have money. We do not have money.
You are jobless.
You
We
were
were
jobless.
Came from Nairobi, used to have jobs, yes. We've come to a town that we do not know. Many people find we grew up here, but most of the people who we interacted have grown up and gone to different towns and countries. So we have come to a place we don't know people.
And you
So
don't have
actually we
money.
don't have connections except maybe our close family members who probably don't want to keep like bugging them to like, yeah, we need money. They knew of course we don't have money, but they're like, you know what, you will be okay.
Yeah.
But it actually dawned on us that we could actually do it. You know, we keep joking that by saying, how do you eat an elephant? And it's just a bite at a time.
Piece by piece.
Exactly. So that has been our journey. You know, we found her, then of course we restructured and decided, okay, this is how we are going to like charge the parents, then the fees is paid. Then as he says, you go to the supermarket, you get a chair, you get this, one after another. You know, at some point, of course, you get to a place where you're like, we really need the money, and
Yeah.
it's not here, and you're
Yeah.
thinking, what happened? But we all are born again, and we trusted God in every single step of the way,
Wow.
and it's been like that.
Praise God. There are two things I will ask maybe before I ask you to give us a parting shot. But maybe you can also help us demystify this, that because your story sounds like you started small and you just kept growing. There's normally the feeling of I need to start with a bang, and I need to come into the industry and just shake up the thing. You know, and of course that requires a lot of resources. Maybe that's the reason why most people don't step out to do business, because you want to go into a particular business, but you want to go there with like, you know, uingie kama umeingia, watu wajue ulifika hapo. What can you tell someone who's thinking like that?
I think that's a big problem that is stopping many people, either who are in employment and one are interested in doing business, or people who are even not in employment but want to do something significant. And you'll always hear them saying, "Sina capital, I want capital." But I think if you really believe in the idea, the dream that is in your heart, I think you should be bold enough to step into that thing or that idea in one
Phases.
day at a time, in phases, as you grow the business. I think one of the things I have seen is that many of the things we have done, even as we have grown, we have actually financed from the what the business has generated. And that's very important,
Yeah.
because many people want to start financing before they
They begin.
But I think the most prudent way of doing business is actually growing in strides. As you make mistakes, you know, okay, maybe that path is not what I should take. So you're able to make corrective measures that are not costly. So I think just starting small and growing is sustainable.
Yeah, so watu wasiogope kuanza biashara na usingoje ukiwa na pesa zote. Anza kidogo kidogo. kama unaweza kuuza vipuli 5, anza na hizo vipuli 5. Kama ukiuza then ununue vipuli zingine. But because we always wait for this, like, this large. I remember when I was stepping out to start a church, they told me like that, what will you eat? Mutaenda mulale wapi, mutakaa wapi, mtalipa rent ya church yenu na pesa na nini. So I'm thinking I want to go and become a pastor, but where is the money? Maybe we just need more bold people who step out and just start out and something. But lastly is to ask the question, and before we start getting your parting shots, what is the place of your faith? Because from what Phyllis said, that you're all born again. Yeah. So what is the place of your faith in your work? How is your faith affecting or influencing the culture of Raison and what you're doing here? Yeah, I think you could, the ladies can actually get that. Now that Phyllis mentioned that she was born again, all of you are born again, she can start us off, and then maybe Marcelina, and then after that we just get all your parting shots.
Okay, I think we have joked about this sometimes in our conversations, that we would have actually named this school Faith School.
Faith School, wow.
Because it was actually born through faith.
Wow.
Totally. Where you sit down to tell you about our personal stories as directors. There are times we've gone without food, our children, but it is that faith that you have within you that keeps you going. You trust in God. We've had sessions together, we have prayed together, we have encouraged, and one of the things that really I'm thankful for is, this school, the age of our friendship is the age of this school.
Of this school. So you're growing together.
Yeah, we're growing together, and that is through faith.
Wow.
Again. Because I didn't know this lady. I met her when I crossed over to meet her, and I listened to her, and my heart connected, and she was born again, and that's still it for me. So you're meeting someone you don't know, you connect with her, and trust God to trust her to run a school together. So there are times, you're living, together. Sometimes the human nature, like, I wish these people will not stand against us. They're like, these people. But again, we remember, hey, you guys, you know what? It is God that is at the center of this. So God being the center of the business, and trusting Him to help us trust each other to run a school has been an amazing thing that has kept us running as a school, and even wanting to even see it go into the people that God has allowed us to work together with. We have a devotion every morning that Mazden has been running. So we start the day with God. We just feed the word of God into the workforce, the people that God has given us, so that they can also in the same manner impact the same into the
kids.
children.
Wow. Thank you for that. When we were talking, I kept thinking, because you guys are partners, Yeah, you are doing this in partnership. What keeps a partnership running?
That's an interesting question. We've had a few fights.
Yeah.
Let's not act pretty.
Yeah.
But it's the process of getting to know one another. But also what keeps you going is your Christian values. If I have an exchange with Masli, my Christian values will tell me, hey, you need to come together and apologize. Swallow your pride. So the Christian values help also to cement that relationship, so that you're able to bury a few.
Because I was about to ask if you guys fight, like if you have quarreled, like this is not going the way we thought,
We do.
yeah, but to resolve that quickly.
Yeah, we've always called it a marriage.
Yeah,
It's like we are married into this. And of course there are differences. I'm different, she's different. As much as she's married to Fandi, Fandi is different, she's different.
Yeah.
then he's different, I'm different. Then there's also the aspect of we are ladies.
Yeah.
There's a way we think. There's a way they think.
Okay.
So there are times we're like together, like, hey, these dudes, they don't know this.
They don't
then
know
they're like, these chicks are talking a lot. Yeah, so there's those dynamics that come into play, but it all serves to bring the beautiful story of Raison.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so privileged to actually have been able to just listen to this and have this conversation with you. I've learned so much from your stories. Someone is watching out there that want to start something, and either they are stuck at, do I step out or should I not? Do I have enough money or do I not have enough money? Do I have a good idea refined or not? What would be the one thing you can say to somebody who is stuck at a place where they can see that they are just supposed to do something, lakini hawaifanyi? What would be your parting shot to such kind of a person? And maybe you addressing young people that watch this and are wondering out there, okay, maybe ni nyinyi mlishafanya kazi mkakuwa retrenched, labda mkawachana na job, lakini sasa sisi wenye tujaanza kitu tunaanza aje? Can you just quickly just give us one parting shot addressing these issues, and I think then we'll be closing this. So we could actually go from you that way.
So I think for me, on my part, I would encourage young people to seek mentorship, because I realize quite a number of there are very gifted young people walking around in Kitale.
Wow.
Very gifted people, but they just need to connect with somebody who can walk with them, a journey. Whenever they get to this stalemate, they can make a call, or they can call somebody, have a discussion, and go past that challenge. So I think mentorship is very important, very valuable.
Young people, tafuteni watu wa kutembea na wao. Mentorship. Okay. Yes, Phyllis.
For me, to a young person listening to this story, just know that you're very special. God did not create mediocrity in us.
Okay.
You're very special. You have a purpose in this life. Just find it within yourself and seek mentorship, as my husband just said.
Wow. Yes. You're special, you're unique, find your purpose and seek mentorship. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, Maslia.
Yes, for me, what I'll say actually just resonates with what my colleagues have said. You need to work with someone.
Yeah.
And you see, like sometimes you may find that you're feeling hopeless. Yes, you go to church, but you go to church and come out. Be bold enough to approach that one person who you feel is already in the direction that you want to go. They may not be like 10 steps ahead of you. Maybe they're just 4 steps ahead. But just make that bold move. Go and introduce yourself to them and tell them, would it be too difficult for you to work with me? Can we come up with a program, even if it's an ad hoc, informal,
Yeah.
Lakini, that becomes your go-to person who will actually work with you, so that at some point, probably God will bring someone else as you continue to grow. But I cannot, you cannot underestimate the
Power of working with someone else.
you need to work with someone. So
Well-
go out of your way, identify someone who can work with you.
There you have it. The talk is revolving around finding someone to work with. Get a mentor, get someone to guide you, to hold your hands. I was told some time back that you're only 4 people away from anyone you want to meet on earth. And you can meet anyone you want to meet, but somebody will have to introduce you. So find them and work with them. How do we find Raison schools? Mtu anataka kuja Raison school, anakuja aje? Ama is there like a contact information that we can pass on to the people that are viewing us? How do they find you?
There's Facebook.
Yes.
You can find us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Raison Schools Kitale.
Raison Schools Kitale on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can call us.
Okay.
Yes, on 0722
0722
409
409
135.
135.
Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, call or check them out on Facebook. And thank you so much for watching this story. You can of course view it later on our YouTube channel, Active TV Network, or you will find it also posted up on the page that they have just given out for Raison Schools. Yeah,
Or email us.
or you can email them. What is their email address?
info@raisonschools.com.
info@raisonschools.com. Thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. Thank you for the good work you do at Raison. We wish you God's blessings and a lot of customers. Yeah, yeah, great. And yeah, and thank you for watching. We will continue with this conversation next week. God bless you.